Hello. I hope you enjoyed that song. It's cool, isn't it? I really like it. And if you didn't, well, tough, you've heard something new, and that's always good to try as well. So, summertime. We talked about sun safety earlier in the week and making sure that you are safe in the sun, you're not getting sunburnt, those invisible UV rays aren't damaging your skin. So, let's have a bit of a think about summer and the sorts of things that it makes you think of. So, have a think about that video and have a think about all of the things that you might think of connected with summer. Okay, quick talk in class, 30 seconds, go. Okay, well done. Now, it's actually the 21st of June is the official start of summer. And in the northern hemisphere, the summer begins, the top half of the world, northern half of the world. And in the southern hemisphere, winter is beginning. Okay, so what are we looking forward to? Now, maybe some of the things that you've just talked about as a class are things that you've looked forward to, and they could be really big deals. They might be really, really small things as well. I'm going to share some of mine with you. Let's see what I can find to share with you. Where are we? No, not that button. I need to do that. Okay, so I've got a range of summer memories. So this is one of my summer memories. I like the fact that it's summer and it means I can get out on my bike. So this was me at the start of my 100-mile ride last week, and all the other people, and just around the corner over there is Buckingham Palace, where King Charles lives. Okay, and I really like the good weather because it means that I can get out in the sunshine and enjoy being outside. So that's a good thing, and it's not a huge thing. My bike ride was a huge bike ride, but actually being outside in the sunshine is really, really good. I love that feeling of being outside in the fresh air. And you might not be outside in the fresh air. You might be with your mates at the park. You might not be cycling. You might be having a walk with your family. All of those sorts of things. They don't need to be big holidays. We're talking about taking notice. Like we talked about taking notice of the small things before, it's about really appreciating the positives and the good things about summer. So I'm really not very interested in a holiday to Tenerife or New Zealand or wherever you're going. I'm interested in those small things that we can experience every day that don't have to cost a lot of money. So being outside in the sun is one of them. And this is the wrong one to go to. And that is the right one. That's my feet. I was having a very, very hot day in the garden. And the only way I could cool down was by putting my feet in a bucket of cold water. And do you know what? It was absolutely lovely. So we've got another example of something that just feels really nice. In the summer, you might have a paddling pool at home. You might have a bucket and you can sit. You might have water pistols. You can play in the garden with your friends and just enjoy that. And you can also see my toes were really, really grubby because I was gardening and I wasn't wearing any shoes at the time. So very, very grubby, but I cooled down. Now, next one to have a look at. So this is a buddleia flower. And this was in my garden. Now, I'm not quite sure how this is going to look on the big screen because as it gets bigger and bigger, it kind of loses some of the quality. But these were 3 bees that I saw on the buddleia, and I've talked a lot about my garden. I love watching the bees and watching the insects, and it's those small details. When everything is quiet, I sit in the chair in the garden and I can hear the buzzing of all of these bees. And I love the fact that I've got a garden for pollinators. And I love the colours as well, those bright colours. And it makes you feel happy. And that's actually what we want is summertime because it makes you feel happy. So here we go. This is my garden. So this was my garden in August 2021 as the landscapers were doing some of the work. And that's going to be the path there. And that's going to be the patio. And that was my garden in August 2022. And there's the pond. And you can see the sunflowers, and now it looks different again. So there's poppies here and there's all sorts of things there. That bed is an awful lot wider, and I've got cornflowers and loving a mist, and oh, it's great. I love it. But that's the thing, is that it changes, and I can take notes, and I can really think about those things that I've got and really appreciate them. So I'm looking at the small details. And every time I look at those small details, so this was taken from my bedroom window. Every time I look out of my bedroom window, I can look at it and go, oh, do you know what? I'm really pleased with that. I'm really chuffed. It makes me happy. So all of those things that I see, they make me happy. And just like that, that's again final one from my garden. These are my really cool reddy orangey sunflowers, and I've got more of those growing again this year. And it's going to be quite interesting because I've got quite a few and they're going to be a bit squashed up, so I might need to do something about that. And it might be that you've got something like this going on. It might be that you've got a holiday, and this was from my holiday last summer. And you might be flying somewhere. You might be traveling in a car. You might be going on a train or a bus and doing something different. And actually, it's not always about the holiday, but it's about the things that you do when you travel there, because even just traveling is exciting. It's easy to sit in a car and fiddle about with a phone or an iPad or whatever and not look at where you are. But actually, you see so much cool stuff if you look out of the window and enjoy the journey as well. Something else that you might like. Let's see. Here we go. This is my dad and his friend Tony. And can you see what they've got? Yeah, ice cream. Ice cream is a really cool thing. It's nice to have those treats in the summertime. My dad will be so cross with me if I tell him I've shared that photo. I'm not going to tell him that. But you might want an ice cream in the summer. You might want to have that lovely food, those cold drinks to cool you down. And that's really important as well, that you enjoy those, because it's easy to have lots of ice creams and think, oh yeah, it's just another one. But actually, an ice cream is a treat. It's a nice thing. And you feel better for having it because you're enjoying that in the sunshine. So let's make the most of these things. Let's be grateful for having them. So we have all these different things at different times of the year. Now, Christians believe that God created the seasons and he created all of life. And in the summer, we see the fruit of creation as plants reach the fullness of their life. And as the seasons change, we're reminded that life changes and moves on from one phase to another. And we're all moving through a particular season of life. Sometimes we speak about different seasons being times of happiness and sadness. And sometimes we experience different seasons and difficult seasons and seasons that are full of joy. So for the kids in year 6, you guys are going to be moving on soon. You're going to be leaving us and going to high school. And that is the season that you're in at the moment, is a season that's full of happiness because you finished your SATs work and you've got all this lovely stuff to do at the end of term, but also there's that sad thing that you're not coming back and we will all miss you. Now, in the Bible, in the book of Ecclesiastes, it says there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. So it's about what season you are in right now. Is it a good season like summer? If it's not a good season, and if you're a bit sad, if you're a bit glum, if things aren't quite right, then you can always talk to an adult about them at school. You can share that with somebody in school and we can help you. But also, there's ways to cheer yourself up as well. All those things that I talked about, all those photos, those things that we took notice of, they make me happy. So when I'm thinking this is a season where it's a bit wintry, I look at the flowers, I get on my bike, I do things with friends or whatever, and I really appreciate those things that I've got, and that makes me feel better. Okay, so what I want you to do, close your eyes, and we can have a bit of a think. If you want to pray, if you want to just think, I'm dead grateful for this, that's cool. And we're going to be grateful for creation, all the things that are in our world, for the changing seasons and the summer we enjoy together, for our friends and the people who are with us in every season of our life. There you go, guys. Right, open your eyes. If you want to, if you enjoyed that song, you can play that as well. Have a lovely rest of the day.